Hey guys, Seth here and welcome back to Taskmaster Tuesday for Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. In Taskmaster Tuesday, I take on various other content creators and we all participate in the same challenge. This week it is going to be exceptionally RNG dependent. This one was created by Spartan and he says we get to build one battleship, 1940s tech, any nation. Starting range 20 kilometers. You cannot unlock all hulls, so each nation gets a unique hull. The enemy is going to be Spain with 1930s tech. And here is the twist. Your enemy fleet is one of the classes chosen by a random number generator. Just Google random number generator to find one and set it to pick a number between 1 and 6. 1 being a BB and 6 being torpedo boats. So unfortunately, since the torpedo boats don't exist beyond 1907, I think it is, 1906, 1907, we're going to have to go through 1 through 5, 1 being the battleship and 5 being the destroyer. The number that you get will determine what you are facing 50 units of. To try and balance out the whole thing, the scoring system is so that battleships are worth 6 points each, battle cruisers 5 points, heavy cruisers 4, light cruisers 3, and destroyers 2. This is to make sure that if you engage against 50 battleships, not only will you have enough points to buy a new CPU, but also you will be able to get a few more points. If you have one battleship facing off against 50 destroyers, it's going to be a torpedo fiesta, and you might be able to kill them all, but you're not going to get that many points out of it. So at any rate, it's probably going to be the demise of one of my ships, my only ship. But let's have a look and see what RNG is going to tell me. So here is the random number generator. Minimum 1, maximum 5, generate 4. 1 being the battleship, 6 being the torpedo boats, so 4 is light cruisers. That means I'll be facing 50 light cruisers. Bring on the secondaries. So, back in not World of Warships, back in UAD, 1 battleship versus 50 light cruisers. The plan here is to arm this French battleship with as many smaller guns as possible to try and get rid of these light cruisers as quickly as possible. Sure, 18, 19, 20-inch guns even are very quick to get rid of a light cruiser, but if I go for high explosive, large, super heavy shells, it's going to be a pretty quick endeavor. At least such is my hope. So here we go. Now, let's go with the biggest displacement that I can find. Speed might not be that important. The speed actually might work to my detriment, because the more speed, the more likely I am to use all of that speed, and the more likely I am to run into torps. I still have a turning circle of 1600 meters. So if I get unlucky and the enemy gets a whole bunch of torpedo launchers on 50 light cruisers, I'm going to have a problem, putting it mildly. It's going to be a torpedo fiesta, potentially. Now, armor-wise, I don't think we need that much. Considering that a light cruiser can pack, what, 7-inch guns at best? I think we don't really need that much when it comes to a citadel. So we're going to go for 36,000 tons or the alternative 35. Alright, all or nothing armor scheme it is. Anti-flood, all of it. Anti-torpedo, all of it. Because that's what I consider to be the gravest risk to my ship. Torpedoes. Alright, making sure that I can rotate those turrets fast enough, and that I can lock onto my targets fast enough, that I can hit them. Long range accuracy is interesting, and stereoscopic. All the sonar, and I'm actually considering using lyddite. Because I think that if I armor my turrets up well enough, the enemy won't be able to pen those, making the chance of a flash fire not that grave. And super fire or super heavy lyddite explosive shells or lyddite propellants might very, very quickly remove a load of those ships from the battlefield. Alright, here we go. Tower building. For this one I'm going to start with a compact tower so that I know where to put that. Base accuracy This thing has more base accuracy, actually. The modern secondary tower 1. This thing, however, weighs 600 tons less. Gets slightly more long-range accuracy, but I think I don't need that much of it. So let's go with one of these. And then throw on the enhanced. That looks like such a mismatch, though. Alternatively, light modern tower 10. Aiming speed plus 41, aiming speed plus 42, base accuracy 30, 27. Long range accuracy 65, 62. Comm range not important, damage control 33, 37. Tower spotting 8100. This one does have slightly better torpedo spotting. Let's go with this tower then. And then making sure I don't forget to put on a funnel, we're going to put it right there. Okay, about 30,000 tons to put on the guns. Again, I don't think I need a huge amount or a huge caliber. Sure, 20-inch guns are nice. They do a load of damage and they have the potential to one-shot light cruisers. But you're going to be looking at a 76-second reload. Whereas if I cut that down to, for example, 12-inch guns, or let's say 13, so I have quad turrets, my reload is only 31 seconds or 32. And they can still put out a load of damage. In this case, what would be more useful? If I go for a barbette, and if I go for another barbette, oh, that doesn't work. I was hoping to put my main armament on barbettes, and then have a couple of side-mounted bow turrets. Secondary guns of 8-inch, however, might also be very potent when it comes to dealing with the light cruisers. At the very least, I'm going to need more shells. 14... Quad. 14 side mount, quad. Oh, come on. Really? This way, I have to angle quite a bit in order to get all of these guns to fire. Not terribly fan of this setup. No. It really sucks that I cannot move this thing any farther forward. Shift, control, it doesn't work. You really need to mount these on one of those plus signs. So that would mean that I have another turret over there. Making for a pretty potent front side firepower, at least at an angle of like that, with 12 guns. Which should be enough to at least severely injure a light cruiser, if not completely kill it with one shot. Or, well, one salvo. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Unfortunately, that means that most... Actually, no. No, I'm not. The reasoning is that if I have... Let's say I have a couple of light cruisers in front and I have a couple of light cruisers behind me. I will only use the main turrets, the main battery, to target something in front of me. That means that all of those stern batteries won't do anything. That would be a massive waste of firepower. So I have to counteract that. And simply putting on secondary guns would fix that. Any chance for me to put down the short barbettes? No. Well, just there. And here. Although I'm not sure if it's going to be that useful. It just means that the barbette's going to be, or the turret's going to be sitting up really, really tall. Okay. What about using a barbette here? Standard barbette for secondaries. Oh, come on, work with me here. Is it because that thing's in the way? No. Do I need to go for a larger barbette here? No. I'm just spitballing a design here to see if I can do something about the threat. There's also something to be said about torpedo launchers, because torpedo launchers have the capability of quickly thinning a herd. So, if at all possible, I would love to mount a few torpedo tubes on this ship to at least reduce the number or start to flood enemy light cruisers. Doesn't have to be a really huge amount of launchers either. I'd say 15 launchers would be sufficient here, considering the threat. And I would like to have them at several different spots, so that we generate a larger wave instead of just one narrow, shall we say, bouquet of torpedoes. There. How am I going to make this whole stern deck work? Secondary guns, 8-inch. It's way too much for a barbette. This is the standard superimposed barbette. This is 258, 291. That looks like it fits a little better. And then the torpedo launchers are going to get in the way. See, at this point, I'm starting to seriously reduce the amount of firepower that some of these guns can bring to bear because of their poor firing angles. Like this one. I would love to put that on a barbette, but the game doesn't allow me. Now, this is, of course, not all of it, because I should be able to mount... Well, I can mount 5-inch guns there. 4-inch guns here. Although by the time that something reaches 10 kilometers, it might already be causing more harm, to put it mildly. Can I put an 8 there instead? Yeah. So we got the torp launcher there, we got another one there, and, well, okay, I'm gonna have to put this one here just to make it fit. We have a bit of a 4-weight offset problem. But I don't really know how to fix that. I can condense the turret design slightly, but not much. Although, there is one thing that I can try. I want to see what happens if I take the light modern tower. Because if that allows me to have another barbette, then it might just be worth it. Get off. Still install the funnel before I forget about that. Funnel cap. 100, we're good. I can bring this one back slightly. I can mount this thing almost under it. And there we go, 1.94 weight offset. Excellent. Now it means that I don't have as much room over here to put secondaries. You might still have some, but no longer nearly as much. So that's unfortunate, but we'll just have to make it work. Really? That's impacting with that turret? That's a little unexpected. Secondary 5-inch triple. Why do you give me the opportunity to put it down and then say the turret's getting in the way? Ah, there we go. Again, range, 10-3, it's limited. I'm not giving up a 14-inch main barrel just to facilitate a couple of triple or even quadruple smaller 4-inch guns. That's not how this is going to work. Any chance I can put a barbette far forward? No. Okay. Fine, let's go with this design then, and then that one goes there. I think that 4-weight offset is not really going to go away. Clear this one out. Put this one over here. Any chance to use those shorts? Maybe. Yes. Sure, that fits. If the game says it fits, it fits. Who am I to dispute? I just don't know if this one's going to turn. Maybe a 6 would be slightly easier to have rotate here. And a 6 can still engage at 14 kilometers. Anything else that I can do with those short barbettes? I can put one over there? Why would I want to, though? Can I put it on the other side? What? Oh. Hehe. I like that a lot. That means that I now have a lot more firepower. So let's say I'm engaging targets on this side of the ship. I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, well, almost 21, 24 barrels of 8-inch. So that's about well, let's say 3 heavy cruisers, give or take. And that's not even counting the 6-inch here. Now that does make me wonder, where else can I put those? Hold on. The game says you gotta have at least 1, 2 main turrets. Okay, here's your 2 main turrets. This? Really? Can I shift you farther back without interfering with it? Yes, there we go. Without interfering with the main turret. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. All the guns. How many 8-inch guns do I have? Count that up for me, will you? Right. 54. How much ammo am I going to be carrying? I think the only answer can be yes. The 14-inch gun here is not going to do that much. This is going to be a really weird design. I'm considering extending this plan even further by removing this turret and trying to squeeze another second or another main barrel turret over here. Just a really small one, like a 9-inch. Because if I can fit that, which I cannot, but I might be able to do it here. Or can we squeeze a 14 in there? No, not like that. But by doing that, I can remove this one and mount even more of these things. So I can do this and that. Firing arc, not great. But I gotta have more 8-inch guns. Because I think that these are actually more useful to fight light cruisers than the 14-inch guns. How many do I have now? 63. I completely did away with the torpedo tubes, though. I only have 10 of them left. 5 per side. Let's make that a big punch. Let's make that an increased set. And let's make those things really sneaky. Electric. Okay. What am I going to do with another 9,000 tons? I can armor this thing to high heaven, but I'm not sure if that's going to be useful. See, this is going to reduce torpedo damage even more, on top of the torpedo damage reduction that I have here. Buoyancy is going to go up, resistance is going to go up, flooding chance is going to go down. So basically I can take a torpedo and just shrug off the damage and the flooding, making the ship, well, not quite immune to torpedoes, but we're getting quite close. I think armoring up the secondaries, though, is going to go very, very poorly. What I'm also wondering about is, can you get a flash fire from a secondary? Because I've seen it happen with mains, but I'm not sure about secondaries. So that would be an interesting thing to test. Just not today, not on this ship. I need this thing in one piece. Conning tower 16. I'm not expecting much plunging fire, but you never know. I think belt and belt extended are going to be more useful. But unfortunately, I don't really have much more room on this ship for armor. There, 19 inches on the tower. Okay, let's hope that this thing is sufficiently packed with guns to do some damage against 50 light cruisers of an unknown make and model. Once again, I am sporting 8 14-inch guns, 63 8-inch guns, 24 6-inch guns, 16 4-inch guns, and 10 torpedo tubes. Let's take her to battle. The Vergniaud. No, this is going to pareil. What's the French word for excessive? Turns out it's not that difficult. Excessive. Excessive. There we go. Although I'm not sure if it's supposed to be IVE or IF. The French subscribers might know. I'm going to go with ships being feminine and thus it having to be excessive instead of excessif with an F. Alright, let's put this thing to the ringer, or through the ringer. Prepare for battle. Battle will commence. Contacts on the horizon. Light cruisers, I presume. What do we got? We got light cruisers packing 12 7-inch guns. That's actually the best gun that they could fit. It might cause some damage. But what I like much more here is that I'm not seeing any torpedo tubes. Sure, they have secondaries, but they don't seem to be carrying any torpedo tubes, which is what I would consider the gravest risk to my ship. Now, there are quite a few of these boys around, so I'll probably be spending quite a bit of this battle on at least ×3 and potentially ×5, provided that my computer can keep up with that. If the frame rate turns out to be a little lower than usual, I apologize. The PC's a bit busy at the moment, generating 50 ships and all of their firepower. Sorry, this is what the excessive looks like when she fires. I don't need to highlight it. There we go. Some of these 8-inch guns apparently do not have enough clearance to turn. That one, that one, that one. The rest of them seem fine. Good. We have done some damage. These boys are all heading away from me. Now, I do need to start chalking up how many things I've sunk. So, let's start writing that down. Let's see, a light cruiser was worth 3 points each. So there is potentially, up for grabs here, 150 points. If I sink all of them, I get another 10 points. So, sure enough, I would like to sink all of them. I have 1,000 shells for the 14s, I have 12,000 for the 8s. You'd think that would be sufficient to cause some mayhem. What I'm very interested in is how quickly these things are going to flood. This one just took a flooding, but doesn't seem to be going down terribly quickly. So we're looking at probably at least standard bulkheads, and potentially even better than that. Now I'm going to close in a bit to make sure that I don't waste too many shells just trying to hit the target in the first place, and to ensure that any damage that we do is going to be substantially more critical. We're just causing pens. We're causing some overpens with the 14s. See, my accuracy with the 8s is not great. And considering the amount of barrels I have and how quickly those things are going to get reloaded and, well, subsequently emptied on the enemy, I don't really want to waste too much ammo here. Because, let's say we have 12,000 shells. Divide that up by 50 targets. I would have about 300, well, yeah, not really. I would have about 250 shells per target. So I need to get closer. There we go. Stern belt extended. Stern deck extended. Their anti-flood's good, we can tell you that. More than sufficient. Range 14. I'm considering switching to armor piercing or to high explosive, because the high explosive shells here do a lot more damage. You know what? Save. Do not fire unless you have a very good chance to hit. Now the 8-inch guns don't seem to care about that much. I need to close in here. How are we doing on ID? 87. I think that's the closest that we have. Oh no, I'm burning. Whatever will I do? I think that's actually potentially the worst threat to this ship. We're going to burn up. They will keep doing damage, and they're just going to burn this thing to the ground. Okay, we have the Class Conde de Vanadito, and she has standard bulkheads. No torpedoes confirmed. Excellent. New target. I'm going to slow down to full speed. Not so much because I'm concerned about torpedoes, but because it makes my turning circle a little better. And that might come in handy. Now we're switching to high explosive. Almirante Cervera. Seeing if I can do damage to her. Yep. 8-inch penetrating with high explosive. So the HE is definitely sufficient. Which again is not surprising because Lydites. Lydite 2 takes no prisoners. And causes immense amounts of damage. That was a 14-inch high explosive for 855. And at this rate, the Almirante is going to have to very quickly secure those flooding compartments, or she will succumb to them. Which would give me my first 3 points. Increased ammo shells, heavy shells, Citadel 5, anti-flood 3, Aux 3. It's not a bad design for a light cruiser, this. I would just like to have torpedoes on it, depending on the threat. But torpedoes always give you more options. They always give you a bit more. Because now this thing is just going to be efficient against destroyers and light cruisers. But it's not going to be terribly useful to deal with anything bigger than that. Okay, I sent out my torps. Next is the Jorge Juan. I wonder if the Spanish name database has enough names for all of these light cruisers, or we're going to see them getting reused. There is one thing that I see as a potential problem. That's that the Excessive can only, at best, do 23 knots. And these guys can do 30. So if they want to outrun me, they can. And they probably will. Take it out. Nope, you missed a full inch, or a full salvo. 8-inch, or 14-inch shells. Look at the inbound fire here. It is raining on the Excessive. It's raining pretty badly too. Is that killer yet? Oh, come on. And again, this is only the second light cruiser that we'd be blowing up. Another fire, flooding, there we go. One 14-inch hit and she's gone. So we're not getting any. No, actually we did. 352. So, place your bets. Is the Jorge Juan going to go down to flooding or straight up damage? Structural integrity that falls. Considering the rate that she's... Oh, close. She was going to flood, but she died before that happened due to excessive fires. Excessive structural damage. Now, what's the risk to my ship? Pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. The chance to pen me, and this is at 5.5 kilometer range, is 2%. Rounded down. 3% if you want to round it up. So I'm not too concerned about flooding. I'm not too concerned about taking a load of damage. Worst thing that these guys could do is probably ram. Like, come at me as a massive flock and ram me. There goes the Africa. There's the third light cruiser that I've sunk. So I've currently scored 9 points. New target, Vigilante. How would the Spanish pronounce that? Vigilante? Not sure. I should look into learning Spanish and Italian again. I used to do that back in the day. Duolingo and... what else was the other one? Memorize, just trying to learn Italian. Interesting language, I really like it. I know that this is Spanish, but the two do share some similarities. And I found it to be so rewarding that when you look at a text, you suddenly go, hey, I can understand that. I know what that says. Doesn't mean you can properly speak it yet, but at least you have some idea about what is being said. And back in, what was it, 2014, I think? Went to Italy on a holiday. And I was learning Italian in the few weeks / months before I left. And also while I was there. And at some point we had a really nice Italian waiter. He was very, very good at English. So that allowed us to communicate properly with him. But I was also very much trying to get him to correct me on, for example, ordering a bottle of wine. I was learning the words for that, trying to make up a sentence, and at some point he said, hey, you got it. That was so rewarding. That's something I love about language learning. I should really look into that more. Come on. There we go. That's number 4. Only 46 more to go. We're almost done. No, we're not. Isla de Luzon. Come on. A couple of high explosive 14s, and there will not be any islands. Lealtad, Vigilante. The rest of them seem to be staying at range. Not really causing that much mayhem. The 8-inch guns are very nicely sticking to the damage and staying pretty close to the 14s. There we go, it's number 5. The 14s have done 6,000 and these guys have done 4,000. 4,100. And ticking. Next one, serious damage here to the Lealtad. Oh. Pen after pen after pen tears the Lealtad apart. Really destructive. Now, since there's not that much to comment about this battle, let's go a bit more into language learning. Because it's something that I'm also very interested in when it comes to Quinn. My almost, by the time that this video hits, almost 7-month-old son. We're definitely going to teach him at least English as a second language. I mean, everybody learns that, but the sooner you start learning a language, the easier it becomes. And, well, it's not unusual for me to speak to him in English. Just alternate English and Dutch. And that way already start teaching him 2 languages, because babies, children in general, are language sponges. They just absorb as much of it as they can, as quickly as they can, because, well, it helps them to survive, basically, which is their primary point. Just survive, as it goes for most entities, most life forms, I suppose. So, language learning, second language, English, definitely. There is something to be said for Chinese, because from what you keep hearing, Chinese is going to be very important. I mean, it's a quarter of the world population at this point, but I wouldn't know where to begin with learning Chinese. It is such a far cry from what the Western languages are like that I don't really know how to approach that. How long do these torps run? 13 clicks. Right, so we're not likely to hit anything here. Great. Anyway, I probably mentioned this at some point, but I started learning English at a very young age. I was 3 years old. Yeah, 3. I celebrated my 4th birthday there. When my parents moved from the Netherlands, where I currently live, to New Zealand, because my dad had a job there. And I went to an English kindergarten, which really helped me to learn English at a young age. And there's this anecdote that's in my family where I was supposedly looking for something in a room, and I think I've already mentioned this at some point. I was looking for something in a room, and my dad, I think he had the video camera on me as well, so there's probably actually footage of this. He asked if I needed any help finding it in Dutch. And I replied in English, no Dad, I can manage. And so it's interesting how your brain can just take, let's say, data, take input from one language and reply in a different language. It's interesting like that. Come on. There we go. So far, the counter is at 7 light cruisers sunk. Looks like Vigilante is going to have a bad day and quickly make it number 8 to sink. Yeah, you're done for. That's number 8. So I've sunk 8 light cruisers. I still have 11,000 shells left on the 8s. I think that will be sufficient, because we seem to be churning through these things actually faster than I was... Oh, torp hit. Than I was expecting. Number 9 sunk. Hernan Cortés. Favorita. Hernan Cortés is down. That's number 10. Only 40 more to go. We're almost done. Next target. Favorita. Blanca. Castilla. Oh crap, we got a couple of runners here. Well, considering what they're up against, I cannot really blame them. I think it might be the right choice. Just run. Because when the excessive comes at you, short of trying to ram it, there's not much that you can do to try and win. Favorita got lucky there, and actually so did the Blanca. Because both the 14-inch salvos failed. Didn't work. Yeah, switch target to the Blanca because I think we got her. There she goes. She had a flash fire. New target. Oh, what a waste of a beautiful 14-inch salvo. Could have been so good. Unfortunately, no joy. That is more like it. The ship immediately gets reduced to 29% structural integrity and dies. Excessive fire. 12 targets downed. Fully missed the Ferrolano. New torp salvo on the way? Question mark? Yeah, there it is. Ooh. It looks like the whole bow of the Ferrolano is gone. And because the bow is gone, the flooding is, well, almost critical. Oh, come on. I think we're going to see a couple of ships die here very, very quickly after each other. Because now we're hitting all sorts of targets almost at the same time. The Castilla, the Reina Cristina, Vencedora might also venture in the way. That's another target. That's 13 down. Now we're hitting the Satellite. Ferrolano survived. That needs to be addressed. Current operating range is about 5 clicks. Still got those runners at 17. I don't think we'll be able to catch those. I'm not even sure we'll have ammo left at that point. Satellite dies. Ferrolano is being helped along. Ferrolano, come on. 9%. 2%. Sunk. 15 light cruisers have hit the bottom. Or are on their way there. Structural integrity of the Excessive, still 90%. And... oh, bad news for the stern of the Leon. Because it's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments have been flooded. The rest of them don't really stand much of a chance. There goes the bow. Or does it? Oh! Another 1500. Leon dies. Target 16 eliminated. It seems like I actually need fewer shells than I had initially predicted. So that's really good. Because it means that I might have a chance at sinking at least 40 light cruisers, potentially more. The qualifier is going to be, can I catch them, yes or no? Now this scenario, as I mentioned at the start of the video, is going to be really RNG dependent. It's RNG dependent in a few ways. One is going to determine what kind of ship class you face. If you have your one battleship and you face 50 light cruisers like I am, you actually have a pretty good chance. If you are facing 50 battleships or 50 battle cruisers, good luck with that. Because that's going to be far more challenging. And then, if you face 50 battleships which all come at you with 12 20-inch guns, well, then you're pretty much screwed. There's not much that you can do to counter that, because armor won't hold up. You can sort of angle against one of the ships, but not against 50. That's just too much. So you're pretty much screwed. There goes the, what is that? Guandia. Let's target 18 down. Are we attacking two different targets now? Because I think we might be able to take shots at Ligera. Oh, not that she'll be hit. Never mind. Target 19 down. Infanta Isabel. Infanta means kid, doesn't it? Child. So why are we shooting children at this point? Oh, there goes the monetization. Why would you name a ship like that? Is that some sort of historical reference? 20 targets down. Diana. Diana. Sorry, dad jokes. Next, Vencedora. Oh, we've already seen that one before. Immediately gets ripped apart by the 8-inch. I'm not sure if all of my guns are still functional, actually. Because some of them on the port side seem a bit worse for wear. The starboard side seems okay, mostly. Aside, of course, from those turrets which cannot rotate properly. Damage, 27,000 and 15,000. Okay, the 14-inch guns are definitely taking a lead now. Vencedora is down. 22 targets sunk. Churuka. Come on. There we go. Immediately gets peppered with high explosive 8-inch shells. Takes almost 500 damage in the first few shells. And that's her down. 23. I really wonder how the other guys are going to do. Be sure to check out their attempts. Links down below in the description. Because you can get all sorts of either excellent RNG or terrible. I really lucked out here on the light cruisers. Because if these guys had torpedoes, it would have been a very different encounter. Turn to starboard, actually. I don't care about those few runners. There are still plenty more light cruisers around, but they're starting to run. The fleet's getting too dispersed. It's going to make it a bit more difficult to catch them all. I think my frame rate's starting to stabilize a bit with fewer ships around. That's another one down. 24. Range is now 8. Yeah. We got another one closer here at 6. The Rio de la Plata. The Road of the Plate? Road of the Field? Road to nowhere at this point. Done. Immediately the next one, the Seridad, gets flooded. Good lord, that one went quickly. I think it's not without reason that I called this thing the Excessive. Considering the amount of firepower that she brings. 26 down. 27 down. That was really quick. Next. Principe Alfonso. Just the sheer brutality with which these things get torn apart. These things are 9,000 tons each, so times 50. Let's round that down to 450,000 tons. Tonnage-wise, they definitely have a big lead on me at my 95,000 tons, but when it comes to firepower and protection, I can't really hold a candle to this 8-inch behemoth. Another flooding. Look at that. The whole ship's burning. That's just that high explosive fire chance of Lyddite 2. And no, I thought she was going to get finished off there. Give me full speed. We do need to make good on time to get closer. Next. This is the Navas da Tolosa. We got the Santa Lucia running away. Just chunking all the 8-inch damage. Still 9,000 shells? Maybe I didn't have to go with increased shells anyway. Even the mains are still at 460. Good. Really good. Nope, still survived. Sort of. I'd love to go to times 10 because this is gonna be a really long butchery vid at this point. And there she goes. 30 light cruisers done away with. I think at this point I'm pretty safe when it comes to points. It really depends on what the other guys rolled. Because if somebody rolled destroyers... Actually, you know what? Destroyers might be harder. Destroyers might be harder. Because destroyers cannot leave the dock without at least one torpedo launcher. Heavy cruisers are going to pack more firepower. Battle cruisers are going to pack at least 11-inch guns, I think. And probably something bigger. And that means that they are going to pose a significant risk to your battleship. Battleships, of course, are the worst. So I really lucked out here. And considering the luck that I've had in the past couple of weeks with RNG ships, I think it evens out. Sometimes you get a really terrible opponent, sometimes you get a really good opponent. This time around, I got a really bad opponent. Just a lot of them. Come on. Reina Regente. The clean red regent. There we go. That's 31. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, it lines up exactly. At this point, almost everything on the Excessive has been damaged. Well, it's been hit at least once. It's seemingly not really doing that much, though. As opposed to the damage to the Pompero, which did leave quite a bit of a trace. Next up, Piles. 22% buoyancy, 16, 13, 10, 5, sold. Target down. Who's next? Alfonso 17. Come on. What? You're just gonna let her live? Oh. That one's down. Why? Oh, excessive fire. Okay, down. Alfonso, down. 35 ships sunk. I think I'm pretty safe for score at this point. If I could get to 40, that'd be great. Getting all of them? Too far away, I'm afraid. But I can start turning in their direction. Seeing if I can get a couple kilometers closer to them. Don Juan de Australia, sunk. Don Alvaro de Bazan, flooding. Just a 100% pan chance, isn't it? No, not even that. 70, 75, 76. Good. Well, good enough anyway. Another one. Just pan her right through the bow. Get a flooding. Call it a day. Nope. Nope. Still nothing. She's struggling. There she goes. And I think that the Canditano was sort of an unintended secondary target. Happened to get in the way. Paid the ultimate price. There goes another one. Due to heavy flooding. This is just a butchery. Oh! And down. Next. Reina Mercedes. Although, I'm not sure if the Spanish pronounce it the same as the Italians would. Would it be Mercedes or Mercedes? 40 targets have been sent to the bottom. At this point I'm sitting on 120 points. If you would want to approach that by playing battleships, you would have to sink 20 battleships. That's a lot of work for one battleship. Unless, of course, the enemy generates a whole bunch of, let's say, modernized dreadnoughts with small guns. In which case, maybe your biggest concern is ammo. Although torpedoes at that point also could become interesting. But then again, if the enemy rolls high torpedo blisters, if the enemy rolls, let's say, maximum bulkheads, you're going to be in trouble. Then your whole torpedo solution is not going to work. Still 16 clicks. Huelva. 15%, 12%. 9%. Down. That would be number 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go, we're good. It's just probably the Carmen, which was hiding behind the Santa Lucia. Down. I think I actually stand a reasonable chance to sink them all. Can we get the mains to target the villa? Or is the chance to hit that not too good? 1.6%. One thing I really don't like about this game is having to chase stuff down, but in this case I made myself go through that because my ship's not fast enough. So the Villa de Madrid. I don't really have much of an opportunity to chase her down and get her. Ideally, hit, flood or damage engines, and pursue. Just catch up. Oh, actually the 8s are in range against the Villa. Oh, that changes the deal. Because then I can just do fire by volume. There we go, we already got a hit. So we might catch that one. Then the mains are going off against the Santa Lucia. Although we can probably better off finish off the Conde de Venedito. What the hell was that kind of a dispersion? That was terrible. Would you like to try that again? That's better. 43. Keeping up. Nope. What's the range? 15.9. Let's turn a bit more to port. Allow the secondaries a bit more firing angle against the light cruiser there. Still 15.9 out. Oh, the Narvaez is even farther. 16.5. Oh, fire on the Santa Lucia. That's it. She's done for. You cannot survive flooding like that. 44. I'm running low on high explosive, or on shells for the 14s. I'm going to save that ammo. Villa 16.5 out. She might run. The Carmen's even farther. 17, 16, 20 for the Volcano. Okay, next time around I'm going to do something like this. I need less firepower, fewer shells, but more speed. Because I just don't know how to catch this thing. Other than to just throw a volume of shells at it and hope that that works. Blasco. These guys are all full health as well. They have fired some salvos, it seems. Well, have they? No, they haven't. They never fired their barrels before. Right. The thing is, since it's a Taskmaster challenge, I do want to keep everything on the screen. I don't want to pause and cut stuff out. We've been fighting for quite a while. Anything closer? 18... Not really. Give me all guns on the Villa. Chance to hit. Probably pretty dreadful with the mains. 1.6. That's a terrible salvo. Nope. Nope. Yeah, this is going to take a while. And then I hope that these guys are all traveling in the same direction, because if, for example, the Volcano decides to, no, screw it, I'm going to go south and turn that way, I'll never see her again. Way too far away. 17. It really is the closest target. Oh well. Oh well. Another hit. Partial pen. What if we go for AP with these salvos? Main guns off. Mid-deck partial pen. Because now we're doing plunging fire. Which might be more effective if I use AP than high explosive here. Depending, of course, on whether I can pen it. Partial pen, mid-deck. Stern deck extended, pen. But then again, deck extended is always easy to pen. These things have 0.6. Oh. Smoky time. Oh, flooding! Way to go, that's going to slow her down substantially. Maybe allowing for the kill on that ship. And the Blasco also had her smokescreen ready. How much is the Villa slowing down? 15 knots. Oh. Never mind. Buoyancy's going back up. And so is speed. 21, 23, 22. Oh, sorry, 20, 21, 22. Holding at 22 knots. Fire aboard the Blasco. Not much more, and they're going to run outside the range of the 18s. In which case it's going to be all sorts of fun trying to cast them. At least the Villa won't be able to run away. But the Blasco will. 27.9 and holding. I feel like I have to keep prioritizing the Blasco, otherwise I might not have the firepower to deal with her ever again. It is tempting to switch to the Villa, but now they're all gonna run. That one's pretty much running. What's the Andalusia doing? Not much, is she? Are you in one of those broken formations? You are. You're part of the Carmen's group. Carmen is doing 29, which is almost her full speed, and you're only doing 20.6. Yeah, you're suffering from the formation bug. We keep doing structural damage to the Blasco, but not enough to slow her down. 70, yeah, still 27. Come on. Floodings is what I need. Floodings and engine damage. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, there she goes again. Torpedo range, 13.2, so the torpedoes are no help either. Keep heading in this direction. It's where they seem to be going. I would love it if the devs made the AI just far more aggressive. And I know that the light cruisers here don't stand a chance. But in a swarm attack, they can. Even though at short range they can't pen, they can ram. Of course, programming that into the game might be really difficult. It's like you're going to have to make a big, I suppose, big if-then formula. If the guns at 5,000 meters are not capable of penning, ram the target. And then make sure that you override any kind of collision avoidance system that the game has in place. Because you're still fighting your own game in that point. 7.5 hours left. There we go. Flooding on the Villa. 20 knots. 19 knots. 18 knots. She's losing propulsion. 17 knots. There she comes again. 18 knots. 18.2. 18.4, she's speeding up. Catch her. 19. Come on. It started out as such an interesting battle, and now it's just turning into a grind. She's at 21 knots again. Oh, at least she's returning fire. That's something novel. It's more than the Blasco can say, for example. They have a firing range of 14.3. I'm not inside of the firing range, but not running away might help. To get the ship into range. Flooding. 20.7, 20.2. 19.4. 18. 17 knots. We might actually be able to catch her this time. 15 knots. Another flooding. Now we got her. 12 knots. Ship is starting to be too heavy to move. And she has 2 disabled engines. 9 knots. And now the XSC can close in and finish her. Done. 45 light cruisers destroyed. But the last of them... What a grind. Maybe it's easier to catch the Andalusia by turning to starboard and just parking myself in her path. But then I'll never see the Blasco again. So that would be a waste. Especially considering that I think the Blasco is pretty weak. She's been weakened by all the damage that she's taken, all the impacts. And because of that, flooding her might be a bit easier. Ricochets. Switch to high explosive. I don't want ricochet. There we go. Any chance that we can get to hit, I want to see damage done. Not ricochets. High explosive is better for that. Another one. Just slowly tearing this thing apart, but it's not the flooding that I want to see. She is slowing down though because of the battle damage. Holding at 25.7. Damage to the main tower. Fire. 25.6. Another fire. Those 8-inch guns, I'm not sure if they're accurate. No, 3.7. They're not terribly accurate, it's just volume of fire at this point. 25.2. That means, and it's bad for news for you, that we're catching up. Smoke screen. What about the Narvaez? Switch fire to the Narvaez. Because this guy inside of a smoke screen is going to be harder to hit. Ooh, not bad. What's her ricochet angle? Not bad. So you're smoking up. That means you might almost be done smoking. Another fire. I'm sorry if this portion of the video is quite boring. I don't really know how to make it more interesting than this. Engine damage on Narvaez. 25, 24... 24 holding. But I think that they can repair that engine. Gear turbines too. It might take them a little longer, but they can definitely repair that. Switch fire to the Blasco again. Oh, beautiful. Couple of good hits there. Now the Blasco, I think we just need to sort of finish her off. Again, fire damage is nice, but I want slowness. She's still holding at 25. She's still running away. Come on, Spanish. Fight. Make a push. Make it work. Some of these ships I can barely see anymore. There's the last one. Although that is the slow Andalusia. So maybe I can still catch her. Blasco, 24-3. Still. Range, 15. You were also at 15. Target the Vulcano. Because she's far closer. And we can bring more of the guns to bear. And they seem to be mostly functional on the ship. Very low ricochet chance. Let's go for armor piercing. Immediately starts taking damage. She's not part of any group anymore. So she's not slowing down any particular ship. That means she's doing what? 25? Well, she won't be doing 25 anymore. 28. I know I said it before, but the sheer incoming volume of fire on this thing. Oh, that might be a problem. 27, 27-1. 26. Smoking up in despair. 24. Few lucky hits and we got her. More flooding? Yes! Gone. Very good. 4 ships surviving. Wait, even the 6-inch guns are pitching in? What are we targeting? Narvaez. Really? So we just kind of managed to get the 6-inch in range, huh? That's really good. Because the 6 still carry a load of ammunition. Plenty to get rid of it. And I would really, really like a perfect score this week. So we can sink Narvaez and then the Blasco. Then we're going to catch the Carmen. I know that's optimistic, but we do have the range for it. So just 4 of them left. Narvaez, flooding. But we've seen that these guys are very good at dealing with water. 16 knots, 15-9, 15 round, 14-6. Yeah, you're gone. It's like once this thing has gotten its fangs in you, you're gone. Once she slows you down, you can no longer run away and use your speed to dodge. It is GG. There we go. More flooding. This time in the bow. More flooding. Come on. Yes, gone. 3 ships left. Next target. The Blasco. We're back to the Blasco. Immediately doing damage again? Wait, you're turning to me? That's really kind. Or are you looking for a final blow? No, she's actually fighting me now. Believe it or not. Look at that. We fired 1,380 shells at her. Only 44 have hit. The 44 that have hit have cost 1,900 points in damage. And she's now starting to return fire. Hitting me only 3 times and doing no damage. Again, almost no chance to pen. I really got lucky. It's not making for the most interesting vid, I'm afraid, but at least I got that perfect score this week. Which was due, considering that I did not do particularly well in the last few weeks. Sometimes by mistakes of my own making. Sometimes by terrible RNG. Whatever the cause was, I did not get a lot of points. Not that we have a running tally or anything. Yeah, there you go. Now you're done for it. Done. 2 left. Carmen, coming for you. As soon as I can swing the rudder around on this 95,000 ton behemoth. The 8-inch guns are starting to protest that they might not have enough ammo. Well, you still got 4,000 shells, buddy. I think you'll you'll be fine. There is one thing that I'm a bit worried about, and that's that once the Carmen is gone, once she's sunk, the Andalusia is going to suddenly speed up. And it's going to be anybody's guess where she goes. She could come charging right to me. She could turn away because she's no longer following the Carmen. And because of that, make it very difficult to catch her. Once again, smoked up. Certainly the turning circle on this thing needs work. It's faster to attach a tug to this side and have her turn that way. No hits whatsoever. Ricochet angle? Come on. Low. Okay, so the 8-inch are probably fine. There we go. Fire on the ship. Another one hits. Mid-belt pen. Any pen is good. Any pen has a good chance to cause flooding on these things. Fire is out. How fast can you go? 29.4. Fire. 29.2. This is what I mean. Once I have my fangs in you, you're going to have problems. 28.8, 28.6. And this is stuff that they cannot repair. So she's going to be permanently limited to 28.6. When she gets flooded, it's going to go progressively downhill. Come on. Okay. And here I was telling my wife, hey, I'm going to do a quick 30-minute video. Is that okay? She said, yeah, sure. 90 plus, well, almost 90 minutes later. Here we are. Carmen 28.4. Where's the Andalusia? 23 clicks out. $28, 28.2. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Nope. The trouble is I have to send the ship almost bow in to try and keep up with this thing. Which means far less firepower than, for example, at that encounter where I had the broadsides. Or I could go broadside to the target. Come on, Carmen. Oh, you sped up, didn't you? I thought the Andalusia was not going that fast. Smoke screen's out. Ricochet angle is now average. Fire! Screw it. Fire the mains. $14.6. Ooh, that was good. There was several hits in quick succession. 27.1, 26.9. Be great if the main guns could actually be operational. I think the Excessive has some issues with their main battery. Oh wow. Look at you trying to fight. Hit. More hits. Yeah, she's just definitely reluctant to fire her main battery. But I'm not sure why. Because the AI doesn't do it. But I have a normal firing solution. Here, open at any range. Nothing. Flooding, yes. 25-3, 25-2, 25. Catch it. 24. You try turning your guns on and off again. 25 holding. Flooding is gone though. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Incredibly, this ship has done 106,000 damage while taking 4,500 herself. It's a factor of 20. Rounded up, of course. Wow, one torpedo did 4.5k. Hell of a torp. Andalusia is slowing down? Oh, it's because the lead ship is slowing down. 14.8. 15.5? What? What are you doing, girl? I don't get it. Oh, you are toast. She's coming in. Now I'm gonna get you. Even the 14-inch guns are waking up. Yeah, now I'm gonna get you. Flooding. More flooding. Good luck. Get to the lifeboats. You're done. Last man standing. Which, as predicted, now has found its engines and is flooring it. 29 knots. Where she was doing 20, or yeah, 2015 even, not too long ago. Are you going to floor it in my direction though? Or are you suddenly going to turn? Nope, she's coming my way. Okay. I'll take it. 18 clicks out. That means that the 8-inch guns are now going to have a party. Ricochet chance average. Switch to high explosive. I know it's not really going for the 14s, but the 14s have no problem with high explosive against the light cruiser. And I only have 8 shells remaining. Fire! That was a 14-inch hit. I'm gonna get it. The perfect score. Doesn't mean I've won the week yet. Because if somebody's capable of... well, you'd have to sink... Let's say you get the heavy cruise or the battle cruisers. Let's say it's the worst situation. You get the battleships. I have 150 points. Which means that if you sink 25 of the battleships, you also get 150 points. But sinking 25 battleships is a lot of work. We'll just have to see how it goes. What are you doing? This thing is just herpa-derping right into range. Torpedoes are in range. The 8-inch guns are long out. Oh, sorry, the 14s are long out. The 8-inch are not. Fire, fire, fire. 25 knots holding. Ricochet angle low. Switch to auto. We're going to fire armor piercing. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Flooding. Slow down, Andalusia. I'm willing to discuss your surrender. Oh. Maybe not. And done! That was 50 light cruisers sunk. So that is 30 light cruisers times a mere 3 points. Oh, sorry, 3 points, not 5 points. Plus 10 points is a total of 100 points this week. If you sink... if you sink 16 battleships, 17 battleships, you also get a score of 100 points. so there is hope in case people get the battleship challenge. Anyway, that'll be all for today. I hope you enjoyed the battle, long as it might have been. And be sure to check out the other guys, links down below, to see what they are facing and what their building solution was to finish it. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, see you soon for the next one.